Yo guys, it's Lord RK here, and today we're going to be talking about investing on Roblox. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what an investment is, some successful investments, and how you can do it as well. Well, let's get right to the point. Investing is basically owning something and speculating that it'll go up over time. It's not just like trading for something and then flipping it on the same day, but you actually hold the item because you believe it will go up. You're invested in it. A good example of a good investment could be Voidstar. The date today is May 10th. Around 1 year ago, on May 12th, Voidstar was 200k value. Its value has basically tripled. The people who decided to keep it not for trade for 1 year, which could be a small percentage, but the people that did have gained 480,000 Robux. Even the people who've only held it for 6 months have gained 360,000 Robux. The great thing about investing is that you don't actually have to trade. Sometimes to gain 500k, you have to sit on a computer for around 4 hours a day for a couple months if you don't have much value. And that can be a struggle. But the thing is, sometimes if you pick the correct items, you can gain that value without doing anything. Now let's talk about how you can invest. I'm going to be honest, to start investing, I think you need at least around 10 to 20,000 value, because some of these items under 10k, there's so many copies of, and their value barely fluctuates. Their value usually stays the same, while items bigger than that are usually rarer and the values actually change. 10 to 20k would be the lowest if you're not an active trader, but if you are, I think you need at least 100k. So you can invest maybe only around 20% or 30% of your inventory and trade with the rest, so you can actually make gains and really good extra gains when your items become really good. Now let's talk about which items to invest in. There's two types of investing you can do. You can either do demand investing or rare investing. To be straightforward, you do demand investing when you think items prices are too low. Basically when you think there's deflation and you think that these items aren't worth enough. Why are they so low if they've been this high before? So if you look right now, for example, on Playful, okay? If you look at the 6-month graph, which is a nice graph to look at, 6 months ago it was at 40k and now it's at 55k. So it's pretty crazy how it's been at 40,000 and 100,000 in 6 months, okay? That's a big range of 60,000 difference. Pretty stable because it's been going from 50 to 55, then back to 50, dipping at 45, but then still going back up. Considering it's been able to go from 40k in November all the way to 100k in February, I think that it could possibly go back up maybe to 75, 80, even maybe 100k eventually. No one really knows how they can 100% tell, or else everyone would be making millions. But the thing is, we can speculate. The main thing you need to look at is the data for items. So on Playful, I can see how much available copies there are, which is how much there is in total. And then I can see how much premium. So there's actually 3,300 being traded, even though there's 9,000 Playfuls in existence. And also this daily average sales helps a lot because that helps tell the demand of our item, and you know, this could really help you know if an item's going to start going up fast or slow. When doing demand investing, or just in general, I really recommend looking at the sellers and seeing the spread of their prices. So over here, it goes from 48 to 49, and then it goes to 50, which isn't that great. While if you look at something like Blue Bubble Trouble, it goes from 32,000, then 33, 37, 40, and at the end of the page it's at 50,000. Almost double the price it's showing right here. Blue Bubble Trouble also has demand, but it only has 2,500 sold, while Playful has 20,000. Playful does sell more though, and Blue Bubble Trouble sells less. But it does have quite a spiky graph. As you can see, it sold for 45,000 on the day, and then it sold for 39 and then 33. So it's sort of rocky. While if you look at Playful, it does look a bit more stable-ish because more are selling. So with these lower quantity items, they can work sort of differently. Now let's talk about rare investing. I think rare investing is the way to go. Demand items always seem to go up, but then they'll always go down, while rares can seem to peak up really high and sort of stay at that value. So if you look at Black Iron King of the Night and look at its value graph, look at this graph, okay? So around July in 2020, Black Iron King of the Night was 70,000 value. It finally climbed up to 75 and ended up being stable at 110k. Then it sort of creeped up and finally reached 220k. The reason it takes them a while to start creeping up is because there's such low quantity, which means barely any proofs are coming into the system because, you know, not many are being traded because it's a rare item. Like Yum, for example, could end up getting 100 proofs, while, you know, some rares might only get a couple proofs a week, maybe even a couple proofs a month. But then finally, Blackhand King of the Night released its powers, and then on March 1st went to 280k. Then after a month, in one day, it finally went up another 140k, and then went up 180k. Rares can become really OP because so many people start wanting them because they start seeing the hype in the item, and there's barely any quantity. So when there's really high demand and really low quantity, the item skyrockets. Yes, I know it looks like it's only raising every month, but the thing is it's raising by over 100,000. So that means every day there's probably someone giving more and more, and then eventually they just give it a super huge raise because they see so many trades that are giving huge overpays. So some things to look out for when investing in rares is the quantity available. So like if I look at Vlad, there's 66 available copies, okay, which are not deleted and not owned by Roblox. So it's 66 people only. I know there's been 122, but quite a lot have been deleted. This hat is very old. So now if you look at premium copies, there's 25 on Vlad, which seems really good to me, okay? For item only worth 45,000, that is very cheap for an item that only 25 premium copies are available. On Vlad, let's see how the owners are for the premium copies. This really matters whether they're active or actually traders or not. So there's Holler for Dollar, God of Small Things, F7Ms, and Yahoo, which are all not going to trade them. They're all hoarders. So 2, 5, 10, 17. So we do 25 minus 17. So we're at 8, which is really low. And then if you go here, Son of Sevenless, John, and Stickmaster Loot, which are all moderators for Roblox. So now there's only 5 premium copies. Then on page 2, these are the hoarders, so those don't matter. Then over here, Fantasion, who's owned it for a whole year, Anderson, who's owned it for 6 months, and Zara Glows and Rare Central, which have both owned it for 3 months. So guys, I doubt they're going to be trading it anytime soon. So there's 4 more that are not being traded. Then there's 1 more, which is me, and I'm not going to be trading mine. So basically, this item's not being traded at all. Quantity isn't the only thing to look at when you're investing in an item. Something that's really important is the looks of an item. Because, Vlad does not have the best looks, and I doubt it could ever be a trend or anything like that. Compared to Sparkle Times, guys, there's 4 times as much Sparkle Time Fedoras than Vlad's. And Vlad is still only 45k, and Sparkle Time Fedoras 720,000. So guys, looks matter. And that's one thing you gotta look at. So yes, Vlad is super rare, but the thing is, the only thing that's really good about it is the fact that it's rare. While, Sparkle Time Fedora has really great looks, and it also is quite rare with 143 premium copies. Shout out to Blue Steel Fedora with my 21 premiums, haha. Let's have a look at one of my successful investments. Alright, so around 3 months ago, I ended up getting the Red Crown of Osmidas. At the time, it was getting around 5k overpays. It really wasn't like anything super special, but it was definitely pretty good. I had a good feeling that rares were gonna start to become really good because everything was inflating, and I knew eventually people would be asking for rares. So I decided just to keep Red Crown of Osmidas not for trade, and decided, you know what, I'm gonna hold it out, and something special happened. Someone actually started hoarding it, and I'm pretty sure as of today, there's probably someone who owns like 15 of these. If you look at the copies, it seemed like Rosie started to get hoarded by some user, because if you look in December 29th, there's 115 hidden copies or deleted. And then if you look at today, there's 125. There's even an account that currently has 5 and another one that has 4. So I'm pretty sure one person probably owns around 20 of these. I know guys, that's a large circulation. So its value over time went up around 15k. But the thing is, because it's a rare, it gets extreme offers because these items become really hard to obtain. So if I go and make inbounds right now, I have 140k inbound on my Red Crown. And for this crown, I basically gave equal. I'm pretty sure at the time, this person was actually overpaying around 10k. So yeah, I basically have double the value of this item right now. So this item's heavily undervalued. But yeah, it's pretty crazy guys. Because I held it out, I earned a ton. Like, it's basically me earning 70k because of one item. Because at the time this was a 10k overpay. If we add the other 70k because of the overpay, it's basically I earned 80,000 from this one trade. Because this item became good because I held it. If I traded it off at the time, it would still be only me gaining around 10k. but because I held it, I gained a ton. I might keep holding this until it goes to 100k. Who knows, man? Honestly guys, some of the richest users are only rich because they have really notable items from around like 5 years ago. Some of these really rich users have held their items for quite a long time, and they go up because they're really notable and, special. I bet if I went into Dominus Amprius, there's probably some people who are still active today who owned the item 8 years ago. And guys, 8 years ago, all I know is that it was way under what it is today. And because they held out on that item, they gained. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'm not even joking, around 90% of my active viewership is not subscribed to me. Fine. You guys don't have to subscribe, but if I think of your card, please do it. I bet you guys picked the card on the top left. Fine. If it wasn't that one, it's the one on the top right. Bye guys.